Love Has Won is a new religious movement which was led by Amy Carlson, who was referred to within the group as Mother God. The group has been described as a cult by ex-members and media outlets. Today, we are going to take a deep look into who Amy Carlson was and what their cult believed in. We will discuss why Love Has Won is a cult that proves that love doesn't always win, especially when you love the wrong person.
Yippee, everybody! Oh my gosh! We have had some very interesting words come out. We're about to go out there and activate some stuff. Love has won. Yippee!
Love is the reality, and I am so full of integrity because I have served love on this planet every fucking single moment. I won! Yippee! Daddy!
5 rounds of horror to get me a tequila. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'll fucking do that shit. Bitch! Where's my tequila shot? You are in fucking treason!
Glad I got that off my chest and out of my heart.
You know, I'm like, 8 billion egos? Yeah. I got this bitch. I got him, Robin. Woo! Universal law! No matter what's happened to me, I will still stand for love. No matter what. Your mind, you're fucking done. Cabal over. Spiritual ego whore done. Fucking battled me. My own light workers battled me. Serving love and bringing in a new paradigm. You're about to get it.
Yes.
And every one of you that went against me, you're going to get it.
Amy Carlson was born on November 30th, 1975. According to her family, Amy grew up in Dallas, Texas, and was a straight-A student. She participated in the choir and was said to have a very good singing voice. That seems to be all that is known of Amy's early life. She seemed to have a normal upbringing, although her family did say she never had a motherly instinct, which I found interesting, of someone who wished to be called Mother God. In her early adult life, she began to talk increasingly about outlandish concepts, such as starships. North Dakota State University psychologist Clay Rutledge and his colleague found an inverse relation between religion and extraterrestrial intelligence beliefs. From these studies, the authors concluded ETI beliefs serve an existential function, the promotion of perceived meaning in life. In this way, we view belief in ETI as serving a function similar to religion without relying on the traditional religious doctrines that some people have deliberately rejected. By this, they mean the supernatural. Accepting ETI beliefs does not require one to believe in supernatural forces or agents that are incompatible with a scientific understanding of the world. If you don't believe in God, but seek deeper meaning outside our world, the thought that we are not alone in the universe could make humans feel like they are part of a larger and more meaningful cosmic drama they had observed. The same could be said about the theology of the Love Has Won cult, and we shall get into that soon. During the mid-2000s, Amy developed an interest in New Age philosophy and became a regular poster on the forums of the website lightworkers.org. On the forum, she met Amaranth White Eagle, who convinced Amy she was divine, and she began to claim to experience paranormal phenomena. In late 2007, during the Christmas holidays, Amy left her third husband and her children, aged 2, 7, and the oldest only being 12. She quit her job as the manager at a Texas McDonald's and ceased contact with most members of her family. She left for Moffat, Colorado to join up with White Eagle. This is when Amy formed the first version of her Love Has Won cult. The group was originally known under the name Galactic Federation of Light.
What's plasma? It is 5D technology.
It is 5D technology. It's essentially just atoms of consciousness. Which spray has the most concentrated amount of plasma?
The plasma sprays.
The plasma sprays.
You know, whatever your angels guide you to, it's what is going to bring you the best benefits. And of course, one of that is going to be joy.
Yes.
Mother God's behind me. That's her on the blanket right there.
The theology of Love Has Won was very fluid and a little bit insane if you ask me. It combined New Age spirituality, conspiracy theories, elements from other religions, and mythological beliefs involving Mount Shasta in California and the Lemurian civilization of advanced beings, which legends claim live inside the mountain. The group proclaimed that Amy was a divine 19 billion-year-old being who had birthed all creation. Amy claimed that she had experienced 534 reincarnations. She claimed her former identities included Jesus Christ, Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, and Marilyn Monroe. Her followers also claimed that she was the daughter of Donald Trump in some way, as if that would make her more powerful. Amy had also proclaimed that Robin Williams was hanging out with her during his afterlife, and they had many conversations. I'm sure, sis. Amy's most loyal confidants claimed she would take 144,000 of her loyalists into the fifth dimension. What did that mean? It was a place of paradise, as many cults claimed to have access to after death. She and her followers believed there were 5 dimensions of the world. We were in the 3rd dimension, us peasants, but Amy was from the 5th dimension and had traveled here to save anyone who wasn't committing treason and who was willing to follow she and her belief system. Amy also began faith healing people. She claimed her hands could heal any ailment, and she could give mind surgery. This was a spiritual ceremony where Amy claimed to remove the brain, heal the mind spiritually, and then return the brain back to its cranium, free from any ailments. Her followers and she claimed Amy conducted anywhere from 15 to 30 of these ceremonies a day, and she had conducted over 100,000. Her most loyal followers claimed there were many testimonials of people being helped from these mind surgeries. Amy received some notoriety from the YouTube videos she began posting in 2009. The cult began to live stream daily, asking for donations and selling their products. So their following grew. After this, Amy began to call herself Mother God and convinced her followers to do the same. Eventually, she began taking on father gods, men who would serve as her counterparts. Amy dated several men at this time, but apparently landed on the father god, Jason. Amy began to claim she had health issues, and this seemed to add to the cult gaining more followers. Her health issues were not known, but members of the cult claimed she was suffering from some form of cancer. Amy had moved 20 members of the cult into her home during this time. She abandoned pharmaceutical drugs and mainstream medical treatment. A spokesperson for the cult justified the regular use of alcohol, marijuana, and magic mushrooms as self-medication. Amy suffered from alcohol addiction. She was known to drink in the evenings and become violent. Her followers claimed her drinking was to self-medicate since she was in so much pain from transporting from the 5th dimension to the 3rd dimension and going into human form. Her energy frequency was incredibly high due to this, and she monitored the energy of those around her. If someone entered the cult and had bad energy, they were banished. In addition, Amy was consuming colloidal silver. The substance is marked in some alternative spirituality circles as a dietary supplement, but health experts say it has no such benefit. I would not recommend anyone use colloidal silver to cure anything, especially cancer. However, Amy did not believe in Western medical practices, and her followers weren't to use them either. Many nutritionists warn that colloidal silver, when taken in large amounts, can cause discoloration of the skin and organs, organ failure, and eventually death. Some believe that Amy may have been using the colloidal silver to make herself seem ill of cancer in order to be taken care of by her followers and manipulate them further into the cult. The group sold vitamin supplements and colloidal silver and gold and used the money to fund the cult. They had also been charging hefty fees for Amy to perform her mind surgeries. The group was now described as a group based on the ascension of the planet, focusing on astrology, on weather patterns, and mainly medicine. They claimed their form of work was the Gaia's whole healing essentials and claimed to offer other types of healing modalities. A search of the Internal Revenue Service database confirmed that under the name Love Has Won, all one word, the group was registered as a non-profit religious organization. That means it was not required to file tax returns. So they were making a profit from these products tax-free, baby. Some also believe Amy used her status as a mother god to make money off her followers and have them work for her for free. In fact, the group made such a great profit from the supplements and the healing ceremonies that Amy decided it was time the group moved somewhere fancy.
Everything that you have ever been told is a lie. And the truth is that mom and father first created the 144,000, and then from there we began creating universes and planets. So mom and father created a plan, and 19 billion years ago they separated, and father contracted to go down into the dark, and his lower aspect is Lucifer. So surprise, Lucifer is Father God. Mom started working her way down into this 3D realm. This is her 534th lifetime. Her biggest lifetime, of course, was Jesus. Jesus was a woman. We lived in love vibrations in the civilization of Lemuria. Mom was queen of Lemuria, and Trump was mom's father in Lemuria, so we love you, Trump. The Atlanteans decided to steal crystal technology from Lemuria. We were then taken over by the Anunnaki, which gave way to the reptilians, the Illuminati, and then the Cabal. The Cabal, which are basically the minions of the reptilians and the Anunnaki, and they are the ones who are the elites, the 1% that run this country and this planet. And so anybody who has felt this call in their soul and in their heart and resonates with this information, you are contracted and your soul is calling you to fulfill your role. Please reach out, please ask questions, please book a session.
She is the filter. She is taking it all on. She's taking all the crap out so that she can give back to you, her child, a better life. So in fact, the worse that she gets, the better off we all are. That's the craziest thing of all this. And the thing is that you go, why can't she heal herself? She's God. Well, that's a great question, because God can do anything. Why doesn't she heal herself? I actually don't know how to answer that question. Cool.
Yep, embody your higher self. Love your mama.
Stop the drama.
I like little gifts. I even like little words. money and all that. They're resources to me. They fuel the mission. They fuel us all to continue to serve love everywhere present. Little gifts I have on the wish list on Amazon, they're $5. Are you kidding me? It's a cup of coffee.
She's got
I'm not.
cheapskates.
Yippee, everybody! We have had some very interesting words come out. We're about to go out there and activate some stuff. Love has won. Yippee!
This isn't real, you know, it's just all bullshit. And I was like, everything you say is real. Everything you're doing, I'm like, everybody's gonna know what you did, and Father is going to come back.
Like 5 rounds of whores to get me a tequila. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'll fucking do that shit. Bitch! Where's my tequila shot? Spiritual ego whores, done! Fucking battled me! My own light workers battled me! And every one of you that went against me, you're going to get it.
When Amy moved her 14 most loyal followers with her to Hawaii, the cult faced stiff resistance there. The residents of Kauai Island protested their arrival. They were aware that Love Has Won was a cult and had a scary following, and they wanted nothing to do with them. I am sorry if I butcher any of these names, by the way. The presence of the group on Kauai was discovered online by Teresa Kapaku, a Maui resident who said that she has spent several years investigating cults on Maui and Hawaii Island. That's my type of girl. Love this woman. The house in which the group stayed was owned by David Bancroft. He came to public attention in 2018 after Kauai County officials discovered he continued to list the property on VRBO and Airbnb after then Mayor Bernard Carvalho imposed a ban on vacation rental operations on the entire North Shore in the wake of the floods that ravaged Kauai in March of that year. Needless to say, the residents were also not pleased with him for renting the home out to Amy and her Love Has Won cult. When the residents saw the home, curtains were drawn in most of the windows, pillows had been draped over railings, damaged beach furniture was piled on the sand in front of the house, lights were on in at least 2 rooms, yet nobody ever answered the door, and the members of the cult seemed to be isolated from all residents of the island. In order for Amy to quell the grievances of the residents upon her arrival, she began claiming that she was also an incarceration of the Hawaii god Pele, which only served to further enrage the residents. I don't blame them. They were not at all impressed she was making a mockery of their religion in order to gain their trust. It didn't work. Amy and the group were eventually forced to leave Hawaii. Some members of the group had issues with their travel visas, and after the protest, the cult was escorted to the airport by police. It is said in some sources that the group moved to Oregon, and others say they spent time in California. There was not a lot of evidence during this time to prove where the group was staying. The cult stayed inside at all times. Amy would make her videos from inside. At this point, she claimed to be paralyzed from the chest down and was bedridden. Therefore, it was hard to keep track of where the group moved to after they were technically kicked out of Hawaii. All that we know for sure was that soon after, the cult made their way back to where they started from, their original headquarters in Moffat, Colorado.
Yippee, everybody!
So the fucking Adams turn around on me and get me meatballs. I didn't say meatballs. I love meatballs. But I didn't fucking say that!
Holy shit, FF!
Chicken Parmesan!
I have taken food, I've made ham sandwiches, I've made other foods that were in complete unconsciousness and entitlement, not needing to eat whatsoever. I've taken Mother's joy by making her the worst quesadilla in all of creation. I've stolen her security by not pushing forward with our products on other avenues online when it's been asked of me to do it. I've taken her trust away by buying things that she has not asked us to buy.
I am making this video because there's been a lot of controversy about me and the group Love is One. And I just want to speak my experience because a lot of people don't speak their experience because this is a pretty big deal. You know, this is something that a lot of people ain't being fully honest with their experience about to the world because a lot of stuff gets held back due to manipulation. 3/18, September 2nd, 2020. Looked at the time, it was 3:03. I just got finished processing letting go of my children because I realized that I let everyone else fill my head with their beliefs that I was not going to be able to provide for my children a good life. I recognized that in those moments, I was not able to provide because I had to go away and heal. What is going on is fresh energies come forth once others have been brainwashed and sucked dry. They get mission brain. And so you believe this person is God when really it's pure evil. People, first and foremost, should not be made to choose their children or Amy, which is considered Mother God. And why this is happening is because she is making people serve her and making people believe that she really is God. And if that was God, God would not make us leave our children. Point blank. I didn't feel love from somebody that was consistently looking for things wrong with me. I never could be myself around Amy because I was in fear. I fought through my ego in many moments, but then there were many moments that I felt, this doesn't feel like my ego. This feels like my intuition telling me something's not right. One of the main things was the sleep deprivation. Amy did in fact lie on Dr. Phil, and the members backed her up, which is even sadder because all the members know how it is because they're members and because I lived with all of them, and it's the truth. She only lets us sleep 4 hours. We have to wake up every day at 5 a.m. We start live stream at 6. Everything is revolved around Amy. I came out with all these amazing herbal supplements, and pretty much I don't get the credit, she does. All the money that came from the herbal supplements, that came from things that we create and that we make, it all goes to Amy because Amy is considered God in that experience. So in that experience, you also can only go out into 3D when she commands you. You can't go out if you like to go out on your own, like you're really not supposed to. And then when you decide to be out longer than she wanted you to be out, you get told you're a Lilith whore, you're in Lucifer, you're in your ego. So these are some things that I really had to touch on. I'm trying to feel into other things that happened to me. It was a lot of things that I went through being with Love is One. I had my ups and I had my downs, and I'm very grateful, you know, for my experience overall. I am, like I said, I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody. I just want to expose the pieces that Love is One does not tell people about, because there's this message being put out that it's all love and good vibes, and, you know, and then people get in there and they're like, whoa, you know, we got to wake up at this time, we got to do this for her, we got to do that for her. And she tries to manipulate you and make you believe that it's all for you, it's building you up to be your greatest, grandest version. But really what it's doing is building her up for her greatest, grandest vision version. Meanwhile, you're so energetically drained and tired, you can't even really function and do things when you're running on 4 hours of sleep. You have all these things you do throughout the day that she wants you to do that are consistently having to be done. A lot of the time, members will put on a front and act like, oh, you know, it's great, you know, it's like little elves for Santa. And it's really like, dude, can I take a nap? Because that's what many of them would say. And that's what I would say, that it got to a point where there was a moment that Ashley and I even went into the woods and took a nap because we were told we weren't allowed to take naps. So that's why she said, yeah, they take naps, but technically we're not allowed to take naps. So sleep deprivation tactic 101, that is being used. Another thing to point out to everybody is that high altitude. When you're at a high altitude, you're already lacking oxygen to the brain, which causes you to hallucinate and see and feel and experience things that aren't real. If somebody gets you weak enough and not in your head, you believe and buy the things that get said, because we manifest our own experiences. Glad I got that off my chest and out of my heart.
Former members of the group and people whose loved ones have been caught up in it say that Carlson kept a set of rules for her followers, rules that she herself openly flouted. Former member Andrew Profasi described his mentor as a mean drunk. She probably drank 8 or 9 highball glasses of vodka a night. She turned into somebody else. She would become angry. She would talk smack and just be very bitter about things, yelling and cussing, he said. Some of her behavior allegedly transcended hypocrisy and was downright abusive. She's accused of placing a screaming child in a cupboard and roughing up a cat. You may have seen that on the Dr. Phil episode because, yes, she was also on Dr. Phil. She also allegedly carried on a months-long sexual relationship with Andrew Profasi, who was a teenager at the time. It is said that she sleep-deprived all of the members, only allowing them up to 4 hours a night of sleep. If they needed to nap, she would tell them that they weren't allowed to nap, despite lying on the Dr. Phil episode and claiming that it is fine if they go take a nap. Some members have also claimed that she would get physically abusive with the members at time, but there is not enough information out there about this. It is fair to say that she took her job as the head of this cult very seriously, and anyone who went against her or anything that she believed in would be banished. There was even a gentleman who got banished to the woods with none of his belongings, which actually brings us to how the cult got found out to begin with. Members are broken down until they have no sense of self-worth or self-identity left. The members were known to be extremely cruel to each other. They will tear each other apart for being an ego and for having lower frequencies. They even get daily report cards for how much time they spent in lower energies. Members are at times required to confess in front of video live streams. They have to publicly list things they did to dishonor Mother God. The group also uses the constant threat that Amy's life is at risk to control people. Mom being persecuted and threatened is a constant recurring theme in their live streams. The group was known to be homophobic. They believed that being gay is ego being resistant to God's divine plan. However, Amy was known to have relations with other females in the group. People were kicked out of the group due to being perceived to be in low energy. On one occasion, a young woman was kicked out and dumped at a campground without a tent, her bags, or her possessions, and left to fend for herself. Others are sent to live in a spot in the woods called Desolation Row. It is a shoddy tent, and it's a means of punishment until they transform. On May 23, 2020, a man named Alex Whitten was found naked and dehydrated with cactus needles in his feet wandering through the desert north of Crestone. He appeared to be hallucinating. 3 days earlier, he had abandoned his wife and 2 children, flying to be with Mother God, Amy Carlson. His wife, Ariane, said that it took just 6 weeks of Witten watching Love Has Won videos for him to become brainwashed. They were shocked at his sudden departure from their family. He had no history of mental illness, and neither of them had any interest in spirituality or religion. Alex was seen in the Love Has Won daily livestream video on May 21st praising the group. He said, "I'm internally grateful to have found the mother. I've dropped everything in order to be here to honor Mother, the physical Mother Jesus on earth. We need you all to get here. Come to Mom and help Mom in all ways possible." The family believes that he was then drugged, since the police and doctors did believe he was on something once he was found hallucinating and delusional, wandering naked in the desert, and taken to the hospital. At 3 p.m. that day, Witten's mother got a call from him saying that he was walking to the airport. But the airport was actually a 3-hour drive away, so this did not make any sense. The family became increasingly concerned, and they went to go find him. They went on a 24-hour all-out rescue mission. His sister, wife, brother, and some helpful people who sought pleas for help online were able to locate him. The family also consulted with prominent cult expert Stephen Hassan, our God, by the way, that's our God, who advised them to not be hostile or confrontational to Witten about his beliefs. When he arrived to the hospital, he actually refused treatment because he said the cult would heal him. It took a while, but his family did convince him to stay in a hotel for the night with his brother, where he slept 10 hours straight. I mean, after not sleeping any more than 4 hours, can you blame him? The day after that, they drove home. The group had lied and said that they checked on Witten when he was in front of the hospital, but the hospital said they never came. Witten is now doing better. He no longer listens to or follows the Love Has Won cult. But he's still wrestling with the very real feeling that he was on an important mission and doing something good, as do everyone who has left this cult. Because this happened, the cult made the news. The public became increasingly aware that Love Has Won was a very dangerous cult and did not treat its members well. And the group continued to live stream daily, discussing how it was not good for people to hate on Mother God.
To the gruesome discovery of a mummified woman's body in a private house.
The woman was a controversial spiritual leader of a group that some claim is a Southern Colorado cult. KRDO News Channel 13 Sydney Stell joins us live in the newsroom now with these new details. Sydney.
Well, we learned today that police found 45-year-old Leah Carlson's mummified body in the bedroom of a home in the tiny town of Moffett in Saguache County. I do want to warn you, though, some of these new details are very disturbing. When Miguel Lamboy got to his home in Moffett Wednesday, he discovered the mummified remains of Leah Carlson, also known as Amy. Believed to be the leader of a controversial spiritual group called Love Has Won, Lamboy is a member too. Members of the group called her Mother God. She is reportedly claimed to be Jesus. Lamboy discovered her remains in a sort of shrine in his back bedroom. He reported that she was wrapped in a sleeping bag and Christmas lights, had glitter eye makeup on, and her eyes had been removed. The night before he found the body, 5 people showed up at his home asking for a place to stay. It's unclear if they were also part of the spiritual group. Police have now arrested these 7 people for abuse of a corpse. No charges yet related to Carlson's death. They will all be in court tomorrow. Saguache County is almost 90 miles from Colorado Springs. The sheriff's office was already aware of Love Has Won because in the past, families have complained that the group is brainwashing people and stealing their money. While it's still unclear how Carlson died, we know her health was failing last fall when she took a trip to Hawaii with other members of the group who ended up speaking with the media.
She's paralyzed up to her chest. Her lungs are going at this point.
And while members of Love Has Won maintain that they're a spiritual group, many have alleged they're part of a cult.
That word has a very negative connotation, and I feel it's used against people in a way just of something they don't understand and maybe just can't accept.
Eyelids and stuff. The eyelids they painted, yeah.
Holy shit. I didn't even look at it. I was like, oh, is that her?
Yeah. This has been a while.
Yeah.
I like this response. So there's something back there. I don't know what the fuck it is, but there's something.
I couldn't see the face. And I was like, and then when I got closer, I was like, oh, we got arrested.
In September of 2020, it was stated that Carlson was in poor health and was paralyzed from the waist down, with Amy herself saying she had cancer. In early April of 2021, the group was located in an RV park in Mount Shasta in Northern California, but were asked to leave due to overcrowding. Amy was last seen alive by someone outside the group on April 10, 2021. On April 28, 2021, the mummified corpse of Amy was discovered in a trailer near Crestone. Its state of decay suggested that she had been dead for several weeks. She was 45 at the time of her death. The body was found in a sleeping bag wrapped in Christmas lights, the face covered in glitter, and the eyes missing in what authorities stated was a makeshift shrine. 7 members of the group were charged with abuse of a corpse as well as child abuse due to the presence of 2 children in the property. The members arrested were Juan Castillo, Ryan Kramer, John Robertson, Karen Raymond, Christopher Royer, Sarah Rudolph, and Ma Abdulia Franco Gonzalez. A photo from a few weeks before Amy is thought to have died shows her appearance to be emaciated, with thinning hair and discolored skin with a purplish hue. According to the coroner, Tom Perrin, Amy had been ingesting large amounts of colloidal silver, which the group had been promoting as a COVID cure, and had received a warning from the FDA for doing so. An autopsy report released in December of 2021 revealed that Amy had died from global decline in the setting of alcohol abuse, anorexia, and chronic colloidal silver ingestion. Amy was known to be anorexic, and she would also starve the members of her cult. On May 5th, Deputy District Attorney Alex Rains announced plans to upgrade the abuse of corpse charges to the more serious charge of tampering with a deceased human body. The group members were reported to be facing a mix of charges of child abuse, abuse of a corpse, tampering with deceased human remains, and false imprisonment. The charges were later dropped. Authorities say now that Amy had not died at the property, but in California, and that her body was subsequently transported back to Colorado. After her death was publicized, the group's Facebook page stated that she had ascended, and the website lovehaswon.org was taken offline. In June of 2021, HBO ordered a docuseries about the group and its leader, Amy Carlson, with Hannah Olsen set to direct. Dateline NBC aired a 2-hour documentary about the group on October 15th, 2021, that I would highly recommend watching if you want more information. The odd thing about Amy being found was the police and the coroner figured she had been dead for about a month upon them finding her body. The group members continuously streamed during this time and lived in the house with her corpse mummifying in the back room. They can be seen on live stream saying that Amy has ascended and that she is resting, but we know now that that means she had passed away. You would think that after her death, the cult would cease to exist. However, that brings us to our next part. Jason, Father God, actually went off and created a new cult, which they call 5D Full Disclosure. They have a new website, which is 5dfulldisclosure.org, and they also have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page. As you see, they're even offering a Christmas sale. They still do recent posts, they still do daily live streams, and most of them still worship Mother God. They claim to do all different types of these sessions, as you can see, everything from the etheric surgery sessions, like the one that Mother God used to give, all the way to quantum numerology. These range anywhere from about $20 to $100. One thing that is very creepy is that they say that they offer equal energy exchange. They say if you are unable to pay for a session, we completely understand and will still be offering equal energy exchange. Please email us at 5dfulldisclosure@gmail.com and we will send you our equal energy exchange outline and book your session in. I'm not sure what an equal energy exchange is at the moment, but sounds really creepy and like it might be a way to get people to come and work for free for the cults. They even do etheric surgery for animals, which again is a little bit off-putting when you know how Amy once treated animals. They give all kinds of updates in order to keep people constantly plugged in to what is going on with Love Has Won, 5D Full Disclosure. They seem to still believe in all the same belief systems that Mother God put in place for them. Of course, there is an online store called New Earth Healing Essentials. Heart-based and high vibrational products. Our healing comes from Mother Earth. It's time to get back to our roots. They offer all kinds of different products here, and they are heavily overpriced, as you can see. The website offers all kinds of different things, such as workshops, 5D radio, a podcast, testimonials, a way to contact and donate your money, or you can subscribe for constant updates on the cult. This is the group's new YouTube channel. As you can see, it is called 5D Full Disclosure, and it has almost 10,000 followers. I am hoping that most of those are people that just want to come on and troll them or pay attention to updates with what's going on with the cult, but it could very well all be followers of this thing still.
Welcome to 5D Full Disclosure. If you are new here or you are new to the awakening or ascension process, then you have arrived at the right place.
So she may look very familiar to you. Yes, she was on Dr. Phil. Yes, she is one of the main people that has streamed in this cult. As I said earlier, what happened is Father God went off and basically took the most loyal following with him, and they created this new sector of the cult by a different name, which believes in all the same things. It's just now they worship Mother God after death and continue to worship Jason, Father God. Still very worrisome. So not only has Amy Carlson and Love Has Won caused harm to people during her 3D life, she continues to control people after death and via Jason, Father God. Amy was an addict and a sociopath who got off on controlling others and stealing their money. She wanted to be taken care of, but couldn't return the responsibility of taking care of her members. She wanted everyone to love her, but didn't have the capacity to show love to others. She only knew how to take and control them. People gave everything to Amy, believing she was a god when truly she was an evil person. She lied and manipulated and continues to do so, even after her death. She was abusive, and in her cult, love never won. Only evil won. To those who have been affected by this cult and are recovering, we wish you all the best. You are more loved now than you ever could be under Mother God's control. Now you can find peace, knowing she cannot continue to control you. Hopefully those who remain in the cult wake up soon and join us down here in the 3D dimension, where we know Amy is not Mother God, Jason is not Father God, and Love Has Won, renamed to 5D Dimension, is a cult. An evil cult that shows us all that love doesn't always win. Please do give the video a like, comment support for the survivors and present victims. I will be updating in future about the 5D Dimension cult, so please subscribe if you're new. I'll see you very soon. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Sorry this was a little dark, but you know, it did have to do with Christmas. Much love, beautiful people. Bye. And remember, love can win if you're not in a cult.
Activate some stuff. Love has won. Yippee!
Love is the reality. And I am so full of integrity because I have served love on this planet every fucking single moment. I won! Yippee! Daddy!
5 rounds of horror to get me a tequila. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'll fucking do that shit. Bitch! Where's my tequila shot?
You are in fucking treason! And every one of you that went against me, you're going to get it.
Discovered her remains in a sort of shrine in his back bedroom. He reported that she was wrapped in a sleeping bag and Christmas lights, had glitter eye makeup on, and her eyes had been removed.
Glad I got that off my chest and out of my heart.